Talking to media persons at The Hague, US President Donald Trump touched various issues ranging from US strikes in Iran to increase in defense spending of the NATO allies. Trump said the US precision strikes on Iran nuclear facility paved the way for peace with historic ceasefire agreement between Iran and Israel.
As you know, last weekend the United States successfully carried out a massive precision strike on Iran's nuclear enrichment facilities, and it was very, very successful. It was called obliteration. No other military on earth could have done it, and now this incredible exercise of American strength has paved the way for peace with the historic ceasefire agreement late Monday, and we call it the 12-day war, and we think it's over. I don't think they're going to be going back at each other. I don't think so.
The US president reiterated that Iran cannot continue its nuclear program.
Not only have we dealt decisively with the critical threat of Iran's nuclear program, which was what I wanted. I said, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I've said that for 15 years, long before I decided to do the political thing.
And referring to increase in defense spending of NATO allies, US President said it is vital that additional defense spending should be spent on made in America military hardware because US, he says, has the best military hardware in the world.
It is vital that this additional money be spent on very serious military hardware, not bureaucracy, and hopefully that hardware is going to be made in America because we have the best hardware in the world. You saw that where 14 missiles were shot at us the other day. And they were very nice. They gave us warning. They said, we're going to shoot them. Is 1 o'clock okay? They said, it's fine. And everybody was emptied off the base, so they couldn't get hurt except for the gunners. They call them the gunners. And out of 14 high-end missiles that were shot at the base in Qatar, all 14, as you know, were shot down by our equipment.
Meanwhile, the fragile ceasefire between Israel and Iran has brought some relief, but tensions do simmer beneath the surface. President Trump claims Iran's nuclear program is obliterated, yet American intel and other experts raise doubts. Meanwhile, Iran admits major damage but vows to speed up its nuclear efforts, cutting ties with UN atomic inspectors. Here's more.
Although the ceasefire between Israel and Iran after 12 days of intense aggression has brought much-needed relief to the world, a classified US intelligence report contradicted President Donald Trump's claim of total destruction. President Donald Trump, however, vehemently opposed the news reports and asserted on Wednesday that the US strikes resulted in total obliteration of Iran's nuclear capabilities and have pushed back the country's atomic program by decades.
I think basically decades, because I don't think they'll ever do it again. I just don't think they're going to do it. I think they're going to take their oil, they're going to have some missiles, and they'll have some defense. I think they've had it. I mean, they just went through hell. I think they've had it. The last thing they want to do is enrich.
Kremlin has also responded to the US airstrikes on Iran's nuclear sites. It said that the extent of the damage remains unclear and emphasized it is too early to accurately assess the full impact. Meanwhile, the Israeli military claimed that the strikes have set back Iran's nuclear program by years. Iran also confirmed the American strikes on its nuclear facilities and acknowledged considerable destruction on ground. In response to the attacks, Speaker of Iran's parliament, Mohammad Bakr Kalibaf, announced on Wednesday that the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran will suspend its cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency. He further stated that Iran's nuclear program will now proceed at a faster pace.
Despite the recent attacks on Iran's nuclear facilities, the International Atomic Energy Agency has not condemned them, not even superficially. It has undermined its international credibility, and for this reason, the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran is suspending its cooperation with the agency until the security of its nuclear facilities is guaranteed and Iran's peaceful nuclear program will proceed at a faster pace.
The UN nuclear watchdog, however, voiced concern IAEA Director General Rafael Grossi said its top priority is regaining access for inspectors to Iran's nuclear facilities in order to assess the damage from the strikes and verify Iran's stockpile of enriched uranium.
This is number one priority, like you say. We know that, I had received a letter from the Iranian foreign minister saying that they had taken protective measures already. They did not get into details into what that meant, but clearly that was the implicit meaning of that. So we can imagine that this material is there.
With Iran vowing to accelerate its nuclear efforts and oversight now in question, the region faces heightened uncertainty and the world watches closely for what comes next. With Rabindranath Chauhan, Amit Mukherjee for DD India.